Differential fluid change on Nissan Rogue. Hey guys, welcome to the bar channel where we are building it, assembling it, repairing it, or just replacing it. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for future videos. If you're a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. What I've got here is a 2013 Nissan Rogue where the differential fluid needs to be changed. So first thing we have to do is get this car on a level ground. Since my ground is not level, I decided to put it on a ramp and use some jack stand and get it level. That way I can access the differential without having any issues. Whenever the car is on the stand, I always keep a jack close by for emergency. Now this is the pump we're going to be using to put the fluid back into the system. It's an extraction pump, but you can use it in reverse and it'll just pump the fluid electronically into the system versus manually pumping the fluid in. So let's get this job started. First you got to locate your differential. Then when you locate your differential, locate your drain hole and your fill hole, or your drain plug and your fill plug. In this case you'll see the drain plug in the bottom, the fill plug on top. Now you want to get your hex key and go into the top and make sure that you're able to loosen the fill plug. Once you're able to loosen the fill plug, you can proceed with draining the oil. The reason for loosening the fill plug first is to make sure you're able to put oil back in once you drain it out. You could drain the oil and go to remove the fill plug and unable to remove the fill plug due to either the plug being damaged on the inside and needs to be drilled out or some other issues. So you always want to remove the fill plug first before you proceed with removing the drain plug. So once you remove the fill plug, you can go ahead and remove your drain plug. Get your drain pan set up, because once you open it, oil is going to start coming out. Now these plugs haven't been touched since manufacture, so they will be tighter or feel tighter than normal. So you want to make sure that you give a little bit of pressure, a little bit of oomph, just to crack that plug and loosen it up. Take care to unscrew the plug and set your drain pan up to catch the oil. Now look at the color of this oil coming out. You can see the difference with the color of this oil coming out versus the color of the oil I will be putting back in. You want to make sure your oil is fully drained, and if your vehicle is level, your oil will be fully drained. If it's not level, then you would either have remaining oil in there, and also when you're going to refill, you could overfill or underfill the differential. So the vehicle must be level. That's one of the things you've got to do. Make sure it's level. Now let me speed up this video so that way you don't have to sit here and watch oil run. Once all this oil gets drained out, take your time not to rush the job, because you're doing this once every 30, 40, 50, 60,000 miles based on what the manufacturer specification is. In this case, research says it was 60,000 miles, so I'm performing this around the 60,000 mile range. Now you want to make sure you take care of all your oil changes by manufacturer recommendation, because oil is something that loses its viscosity, and over a period of time they also become acidic. So you want to make sure that you do the oil change at the recommended interval. This way your gears are all protected with new and fresh oil, due to the oil losing its viscosity from just age and not wear and tear. In this case, this vehicle only had around 60 in the 60,000 miles, somewhere around there. However, the vehicle is 8 years old. So I want to make sure that this oil gets changed out. So let's go ahead and get this oil finish drained out, and we'll go ahead and proceed with the refill. Now, once your oil is fully drained, you want to go ahead and put back your drain plug. You want to put this plug by hand. Hand start it. If it needs to be cleaned because it has a magnetic on the tip, clean it out. Clean all the debris off of the plug itself and hand tight it on. Once you hand tight it on, you can go ahead and use your torque wrench. Use your torque wrench and torque the nut down to 25 foot-pound. That's all you need, and it's not a lot of pressure. It may seem like it's a lot, but it's not a lot. You will know once you hear the click on it. Once it's done, you can go ahead and clean the area up, and let's prepare to fill the oil back. Now with my new pump that I have to pump the oil back in, I'm going to pass it through that supporting shaft into the fill hole. Once I get it into the fill hole, I'm going to start pumping the oil in. Now this pump is a 12 volt DC pump that connects directly to a battery. You can either rig it up if you don't have battery access, or it's too short, the cable is too short, you can extend it with jumper cables, or you can rig it up to be used with the cigarette lighter. In this case, I had a lawnmower battery that I used, so I connected directly to the lawnmower battery. This pump also have an on-off switch, which allows you to switch it on and control the flow of the oil itself. As you can see, I try to flip the camera around to get a better view of the oil flowing in to the differential. So once your differential is filled, you will know that it's full because oil will be coming out from the top. The oil that's needed for this vehicle is a AWD gear oil, and you want to make sure you get good gear oil, not the cheap off the wall stuff, off the brand stuff. Get good gear oil, and preferably like synthetic gear oil, which will be much better because you're not gonna do this again for another 60,000 miles unless you're driving 30,000 miles a year. But in the case of this vehicle, it's not driven that often, so you want to get good gear oil. Once your oil is filled, you will see that it's going to be dripping down from the top. You can go ahead and remove your fill hose. I neglect to mention that this differential oil is not a lot of oil. It's 1 1/8 quart of oil that needs to go into the differential case itself. So you will know when you hit that because the oil will overflow from the fill hole. So keep pumping until you see the overflow, hit the switch and turn the pump off. Once you get the pump off, any excess oil will just drip out. Catch it with a rag or your drain pan, and then you can proceed to inserting back the fill plug. Make sure you clean the work area good of any excess oil that's spilled, and then you would want to hand thread this fill plug back in. Once it's hand threaded in as much as possible, then you can proceed with using your tool to tighten it in. Once you grab your tool to tighten it in, this nut also takes 25 foot-pound to torque it in. So you get your tool and get your torque wrench adjusted to your 25 foot-pound range and go ahead and torque this fill plug back in. Believe me, it took more time to get this car up on the ramp and jack stands than it did to change this differential fluid. This differential fluid is very easy to change, and you can do it with the right tools. So you can go ahead and attempt the job. Hey, thanks for watching the bar channel. Thanks for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for future videos. Drop a comment, ask questions, and peace out. I'll catch you in the next video.